All right. I think we are live now. First live stream. And I don't even know if I can see viewers. I guess I can. So no viewers yet. We'll see if someone will join. So this is going to be basically just a testing live stream, see how it works. I've kind of been testing on doing it privately, but this is the first time I'm actually going live. So I'm just going to use this stream today to just do a normal YouTube video and actually announcing the project that I'm working on. So let me just go to the Discord. So we have the Discord already, and I think we have quite a few members now. Let me see. So we have 835 members in the Discord, where most is verified. So it's growing pretty fast. We have everyday people joining. And this is basically a it's called Polytraders. It's a prediction market community that is specifically for prediction markets, building trading bots, talking about strategy and data, predictions, crypto, vibe coding, and so on. So I should have left the invite link in the description, so you can check that out. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, so I mean, I've been doing YouTube for a while. Like all my other videos has gotten like less than 100 views, 167, so on. And then I started to do about Polymarket. That has kind of, exploded a little bit compared to my other stats. So the first, video I did about Polymarket got like now around 20,000 views, and then it's like 5,000, 6,000. So I think there's a lot of interest in Polymarket, and I've kind of been talking about this trading bot on my different videos, and kind of the idea was just doing a video, a trading bot for myself, but I see a lot of people kind of trying to do the same thing, and it kind of led me to thinking about, well, how can I actually think about creating a trading bot that everybody can use, more like a framework. And that's basically what I want to talk about today. I have talked about a little bit Project Raven. I've been sharing my progress in some of the videos about the architecture, and today I want to show a little bit more about it, and also something that's a little bit more visual, because this project will be something that I will launch for everybody to be able to actually use to build their own strategies. And everything is going to make more sense when I show this presentation, and I will be doing a demo and showing you how it's going to look like. So Raven is, I don't know if that's going to be the final name, but it's what I call it now, Project Raven. It's not just a trading bot, but think like N8N, like framework for building, testing, and deploying trading bots. So I don't know if you're familiar with N8N, but it's this automation tool where you can create pretty complicated flows with these nodes. And this is the idea behind Raven, doing that, but for trading bots. There's no coding required to build your own strategy. You can do it entirely through a graphical interface. So it's basically a no-code trading builder. And now it's demo time. So let me just jump straight to it and show how it looks like. So it's still pretty basic, and I'm going to explain what's happening here. So there is an interface on the front end that is this node builder. So you can see over in left-hand side here, we have data sources. And I can put it over here, and you can see our Polymarket is pre-selected. In the future, I'm going to make the option to add more exchanges. So it doesn't need to be prediction markets. It can also be, in this case, Kalshi, maybe Opinion, and other platforms that we want to connect to. So in this case, I'm going to do Polymarket because that's the only thing that works right now, but I'll add more. We can we have different options for market discovery. So I'll do just a specific market by the slug, and in this case, I'm not using real data, so I'm just going to put in anything. And we can also add more markets, like if we want our trading bot to connect to several different markets, that's also possible. And it's possible to add more exchanges as well. Let's say that we want to do Polymarket and we want to do Kalshi. You know, maybe you want to do a cross marketplace arbitrage bot. You know, you will connect to the Kalshi 15-minute market and you're going to connect to the Polymarket 15-minute market. And then build your strategy around that. In my demo here, I'm going to do it very basic because it's not done yet and it's kind of just a demo. A lot of the stuff works, but there's also a lot of stuff that doesn't work, and I'm building it every single day. Okay, and everything I'm talking about here is kind of, everything ties into all my videos in the past, because this is basically what I've been building. I've just been building the core architecture and framework. All right, we got a comment here. Call me GoBot. I made a bot for Polymarket and Kalshi 15-minute crypto with 6% profit per trade. That's pretty good. So yeah, it's 16% profit. And then how long time have you have that deployed? Like, are we talking weeks or days? Jackson, I need to make this one bigger here. Let me see. Hey, Reason, just found your channel right as I discovered Polymarket algo trading. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can join, as I would suggest, if you haven't joined it already, join our Discord. It's free to join community, and there's a lot of people, you know, helping out and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. There's a lot of alpha in there. All right, so we have the Polymarket here. So let me demonstrate. So we have different signals. It can be all sorts of signals. I'm going to demonstrate the price signal. So maybe our strategy just looks at a price update. So I put a price and I can connect these two. So the price then subscribes to the Polymarket data source. And we can then select the data field. So this is basically looking into the order book in this case here. So let's say we want to look at the best ask price from the order book. And then we can select the token side. And let's say in this case, we want to do the up token. And all of this is something I'm going to change because it has to kind of auto-discover, like, is it even a token? Maybe on a different platform, they call it something else. But this is kind of hard-coded a little bit. And then we can do a condition. So we can connect different signals. This is just one signal. We can do many different signals if we can do some kind of a condition. So let's say we want to do a threshold. This is what I'm going to demonstrate in this example. Let's say we want to make a trade when the best ask price is a certain price. So we do the threshold and we can say greater or equal than, let's say, 0.6. So when the token price is 0.6, that's when we want to do a trade. And that's where we can use our action. I'm just going to check if you can actually see it. You can. So we can drag over the buy. And the cool thing here is it will give you notification about the errors, and you can also see down here the error log if there's some error you have to fix. And then you can connect this one that you want to omit an action when this threshold here is true. And it's going to auto-populate the market up here in the market. I can also choose a different market. I don't know why you would want to do that, but it is possible. And then it's going to take the same token side that you chose before. But again, you can also change that, and there's other parameters. For example, you can choose the strategy type. That's more about how much do you want to buy for. So for example, in my case, I just want to buy for $1, but I can also do like a percentage of the capital. Maybe I want to do 5% of all the capital and other, criterias. And let me see. And then you have different metrics for risk management and the order timeout and so on and so forth. So now I have a very basic strategy where we connect to the Polymarket, we look at updates to the best ask price, we check if it's above or equal to 0.6, and then we buy. And then you can actually test the run here with mock data. So if you select mock data, we can see how the events are going to come in. And this is basically events from the Polymarket pipeline that basically run through the system. So it's going to be easier to bug fix and really tweak your strategies. And then another neat thing is we can actually see the data here So it's kind of a snapshot. So you can see here the live data that we came in, the bid, ask, and mid price. And then you can see, all right, this is what we got in, and this is the signal that triggered it. So when was it triggered? What data was it triggered on? So you can see at the value of 0.5069, which is the ask price. And then you can see here the condition. So it did not omit this as true. That means that the buy did not execute. You can see at the result it's false because 0.5069 is less than 0.6. And you can also see here in the log that it always evaluated the condition, but it never executed the trade. So obviously if it was less than, let's say we do the threshold 0.3, let's try run it again and hope it's not gonna break now that I do this live. So we do the mock data, start test. Yeah, so you can see here that now it evaluated to true and the action was triggered. And then it says, all right, at this price, we purchased for $1. So this is sort of the idea behind behind Raven, as a node-like strategy builder where you can start to build pretty complicated strategies without using any code whatsoever. I most likely will make the ability to add some code. Maybe you want to create your own signal that's very, specific to your use case. Then you can go and do it with an input and output. And obviously, everything that you see here in the notes is just for demo purposes. There's going to be a lot more that we can choose between. And obviously, this is something that I will work on more. Have you tried making a strategy using the platform yet? I have not deployed any strategies, no. So I have some strategies lying around that I've been testing out, simulating, but not deployed anything. Right now, I'm just building out. Like the idea initially was just building my own trading bot. And then I kind of thought, hey, there's actually a lot of people that need this. And I see in the Discord, a lot of people trying to build their own strategies, and a lot of people, they're struggling with the basic stuff, such as this, and spending a lot of time just programming and coding and trying to make things work with AI instead of actually like trying out a lot of different strategies. Something like this is gonna enable you to try out a lot of different strategies very fast. And this is, let me see, it's actually gonna be the next part of my presentation here. And yeah, thank you. So we have there's a Harry Potter here. We'll have the chance to have it on GitHub. So I think part of it I might open source, but obviously there will be a paid model as well. So I'm gonna actually talk about pricing later. So that's actually also part of my presentation here. So the idea is we have the front end, which you saw now, and that will connect to an API. And then when you have constructed your strategy, actually what I can do is I can just copy paste this so you can see kind of how it works behind the scene. And I can paste it. And then I have it's actually just a JSON that defines the strategy. Then what happens is when you click, go or whatever, it's gonna feed that JSON over to the bot, and it's actually gonna create. That's at least my idea for now. It's gonna create its own instance. So when you create your bot will actually be on its own like server instance, and it's not gonna be with other people's bots just for reliability and stuff like that. But I will go more into detail about deploying because it's still kind of fuzzy and it's just, again, an idea. All right, other planned features. So it will be possible to deploy several bot instances, and this is kind of why I illustrated with this. So you have the data ingestion, you can actually go and make a lot of different bots. So when I copied the payload here, the JSON, you can take this, you can go and create a new bot and copy paste it, and then you can just change some values, and then you deploy it, or you back test it, or you simulate it for a week, and then if it's cool, all right, you deploy it. And then parameter parameterize your strategies. So let's say that, all right, I have a nice strategy, but I want to change some values. I just want to change this condition. I want to run the same strategy in 3 separate instances. All right, I can do that. And then one instance is 0.3 and then 0.4 and 0.5. And then you can kind of, test very fast, very efficient. There's going to be some portfolio and strategy level risk management. So like I showed over here, if I go over to the buy, there's some default values that's just set on your portfolio, and you can also set it specifically for the strategy. But this is a part that's going to be built out more. There's going to be back testing and live simulation. So I will make the possibility to feed it a lot of past data, but also actually just run it in the background as a live simulation, and then see how well it does. And then if you have been running it for a week or 2 weeks, and think, all right, I'm pretty comfortable with this. All right, click go, and then it runs. And then the strategy you build is your own. It's not something I will sell to other, but I will facilitate you being able to sell your strategy to other people. This is at least an idea that I have. So I'm thinking like a marketplace where you can, if you have a strategy, you have a nice idea, you can sell it to other people. It's an idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but I'm just thinking a lot of ideas. So potentially a marketplace where you can actually buy and sell strategies. And then obviously the possibility to ingest data from multiple data sources and venues, cross-platform arbitrage, so Kalshi, Polymarket, Opinion, potentially also Binance, crypto exchanges, interactive brokers, a lot of different sources. The price, I don't know, it's to be announced, but my idea is I will be doing some kind of a fixed monthly cost of this. There's not going to be any trade fees or profit share, because I think if I add trade fees, it's just going to completely ruin the edge of the bots. It doesn't make any sense, because I know a lot of other bots, they have some kind of a trade fee, so I won't be doing that. And then I don't think I will be doing profit share either. So I think it will be monthly cost, but I don't really know. It's still very much early, and I'm probably going to do some kind of a freemium version. Maybe I'll do like, all right, before you deploy it, it's going to be free, and after, when you deploy it, maybe it's paid. Something like that. Don't know. Still kind of work in progress. Kenny, so far, in my opinion, the coolest part was the drag and drop UI. Yeah, 100%. I mean that is the the cool thing about it. That's kind of what I feel like is a game changer, because I haven't seen anybody doing this. There is trading bots already that have these predefined, strategies and stuff like that, that maybe you can change some parameters, but here you have a drag and drop builder. And also the ability to deploy a lot of strategies, test a lot of strategies, and then you can, because that's probably what you need to do. You probably need to deploy 20 strategies to just find one that actually works. Newbies gonna like that, yeah, 100%. And I think for sure, like newbies, but also intermediate. Of course, if you are high level, you have the resources to doing something crazy, of course. So this is I think this is probably, yeah, for new beginners and then intermediate. I am talking with also a professional trader that's interesting in this. So I think it's not for institutions, but it is for like solo people that wanna do this. Timeline, yeah, like I hope I will have a demo ready for a few select people to use it. Within a couple of weeks, I'm gonna probably start with like 2 or 3 people that I am in close contact with, have them trying it out, building some strategies, and then simulating it, and then after that, getting more people in. So that's why I have left a Kenny Bigham's. Oh, wait a minute. Jackson, have you actually used real money to test any strategies? No, I have not. I have not deployed any. I have not deployed any strategies. I've only been building the backend here. I'm market making Kalshi. I can prove it. I'm in your Discord and was off the comments asking for the Discord. Can I DM you? Yeah, contact me on Discord. Just message me on the channel, and then I can send you an invite. And if so, what are your results? No, I have not deployed. So I have not deployed any paid strategies. I'm just building this out, and when this is done, I will be one of the test persons actually deploying my own strategies. And when I do that, I will be sure to make a video about it. So when I have a live strategy running, I will probably fund it, I don't know, with $100, $1,000, whatever, and then I'm gonna share this result. Just join Cat's recap. What's it about? Yeah, I can do that. How many viewers are we now? There are 4. Okay, 4 viewers. All right, cool. I make my own platform for market making. Specifically, about 95% sure I can put my strat on your platform to show a profitable, simple one running. Nice. Yeah. Message me. Yeah, because I definitely, the first people that I wanna have using this is definitely someone that have a very good idea. I'm not specifically someone to have a profitable idea, but someone to have a good idea about what they want to do with this. And then we can kind of do a one-on-one. I will help you actually setting it up on the platform and then deploying it eventually. Jackson boy, oh, he's okay, yeah. All right, cool, yeah. So join the Discord. The description, the invite is in the description. And yeah, and of course, if you wanna be notified about this, there's also a Google form where you can put your email. I was working on a landing page. I'm not ready with it, but I will deploy that soon. But in the meantime, if you wanna be notified when this is, when it's open, then leave your email also down below in the Google form. For the timeline, as I said, hopefully testing this within the next few weeks. Hopefully have a very early 0.01 version ready in a few weeks, maybe a month. Waitlist, yeah, this one is not, hopefully I will add this, I will have this website up running soon. So in the meantime, it's the link down in the description that you use for the waitlist. And then maybe in a day or two, you use this link here. Yeah, again, to keep in the loop, just go to our Discord. We have a lot of people joining. So yeah, we have a lot of people every day, several people every day just joining. So it's pretty fun in here. We have a lot of good stuff going on. Even if strategy is good, sometimes the whole structure and how AppBot operates don't allow strategy to be profitable and vice versa. Yeah, 100%. And I think you're right about that, Harry Potter, because that's actually the reason why I didn't do any strategies yet, because I want to make sure that like the core features works 100%, because I might have a profitable strategy. You might have a profitable strategy, but it's not profitable because it's run through maybe subpar, code that actually doesn't facilitate this strategy properly. So that's kind of my thinking about it. That's why I've really been focusing on just creating the core parts here. Yes, true, you're gonna need to optimize latency, but it's okay. That's not hard. Nice thing about platform seems to be the easy UI. Yeah, I mean, for latency, it's gonna be difficult, I think, actually, especially like, I don't think this is gonna be for extreme high frequency trading. Like, because first of all, like we've been in the Discord, we have been testing out latencies, and the latencies from and to poly market is pretty bad. And you really need to be very close to the server, really need to know what you're doing and have like, crazy setup to high frequency trading. I think the opportunities is elsewhere, because high frequency trading is, there's institutions doing that. You want to, compete against them. So I think for this is more like not high frequency trading. Of course it's going to be fast, but not within like 10, 20 milliseconds, maybe 100 milliseconds. Yeah. So you get 130, 150. So when I did it, it was like all over the place. It was all over the place. I can show you the Discord where we are doing. Let me just open it up here a bit. So in the Discord, I added a script to a GitHub here to measure the latency, and the way the way I did it, it's a vibe coded script, okay? So the way I did it, connect to the WebSocket and then compare the timestamp from the events to the time that we received them. One issue about that is there might be like a clock shift or whatever you call it, like their server time might be different from my server time. And we don't know actually. So actually the problem about that is when I tested it to begin with, I got like minus latency. So the best I got was these results here. So I tested 2000 events. The median latency was 35.47 milliseconds. The mean was 44. The minimum was 6 and the maximum was 173. So it's between 6 and 173. So it's like all over the place. And I don't think this is reliable to do any high frequency trading if it's like that. And yeah, other people have kind of the same. You can see here, this guy here, he have total events 100. The median was 200. Minimum was 60. And yeah. So that's from Colombia, and let's see. And then the what I did here was this from DigitalOcean in Amsterdam. But it's probably, I think I heard that where's the, I need to get the comments back. Where are the comments? I need to look at them. Yeah, you could let the user set their cloud compute and server location. Yes, I think that's also a very good idea. I think eventually I wanna do it so when you deploy your bot, by default it's gonna be deployed as its own instance on my server, but make the ability that it's actually deployed on your own server or something like that. Like if you want to fine tune something like that, all right, you just get like the code, put it on your own server, and then it runs something like that. But that's later down in the stages. Now we need to go hunting to find where Polymarket server local use. Yeah, 100%. So I think again, it's we don't really know, right? But and that's kind of why we did it in the Discord, to try to triangulate where the servers are. It's probably on like we think it's on AWS, but then where in the world we don't know. But it would be pretty, like, that's something I would spend more energy on when I'm ready to deploy a real strategy. Then deploy it on 4 different AWS servers around the world and see where's the best. That does make sense. Maybe the high variance in latency was caused the digital only setup, but still have my average beat by a bit. So the server, I don't know how much of it, like the server I use is the cheapest you can get. So of course, like when I actually deploy this, it's gonna be on a better server. I don't know how much that's gonna affect the latency, I'm not sure. But of course, I think the most important is just figuring out what server is the closest. And then we can also deploy it on several different servers actually, all connecting to the same WebSocket, and we can do some kind of a system where it will whatever server gets the fastest signal will actually omit the action. There's some techniques to do it. And yeah, thank you, Silaru Daniel. Keep it up, nice videos. Thank you. So first time live, and I don't know what I was expecting about live, but I'm happy that there's actually some comments, so I'm not here talking by myself. Kenny, Polymarket documentation says their service in EU West. Okay. EU West. So I need to make my this one here. So that's the United Kingdom. Okay. So most likely it's gonna be best to just have the bot running here, if that's what they say in the documentation. Oh, yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, well, we have it right here then. That's cool. So EU, and then closest non-geo-restricted region, EU West 1. So it's in Europe. Okay, cool. Emil, I had a bot impersonate you from the server. Yeah, so that happens all the time in Discord, especially when it's related to something like crypto, which Polymarket and prediction markets is, right? So I've made an announcement about it. That's why I write on my profile that I will never DM you. So I don't DM anybody. And then if someone actually contacts you that's trying to impersonate me, you can check the ID and their handle. And then you can compare it with my ID and my handle, and that is in the Discord. So if you go back to the Discord, in the announcements, so I have this announcement. So if someone is talking with you with my name and trying to impersonate me, you just see here, you can see my handle is Harry Potts. That's my handle, okay? And then my user ID. And then you can just go to the user and just right click, and you can copy the user ID. So this is everybody can do this. And then you can compare it, and then you know for sure that it's me. Because this, I've already blocked a lot of people, and it's impossible to prevent. Yeah, cool. You could host bot trading competition with a fixed starting balance. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, like I for sure I want to do something like that. Like if I actually start to make money on this, so like the whole idea about YouTube when I started this, basically just trying to document my journey making money online. So if that's gonna be making a trading bot, that would be cool. And then I want to take a portion of that and actually fund other traders. Maybe make a competition, use the platform, and then the winning strategies get funding of X amounts, something like that. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. So. Kenny Bickams. So Kenny Bickams, are you in the Discord now? Then just go into the general chat here and then just tag me. Then I'm gonna send you a friend request and then we can talk. Yeah, it's Harry Potts. If they said Europe, probably are in some kind of Singapore to confuse everyone. I mean, yeah, we could always, we could still triangulate it because they are for sure they have more servers. They say the primary server is in Europe, so they have more servers than just that, which makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, nice. Okay. All right, I send you a friend request. Anyone watching market manipulation happening on Poly right now? I just watched BTC be up by 10 and 30 seconds left, but was only 70% down 10. So I just watched Bitcoin be up by $10 and 30 seconds left, but up was only at 75, down was 25, then last 5 seconds it crashed. Yes, so, you cannot see it. Sorry. So, just a little bit off topic. I talked about this in another video about manipulation. And I saw this. I was looking at the prices myself. And I don't know if this was the manipulation, but I was looking at the 15-minute market. And I was looking at the price. The price was going up, up, up. No, the price for Bitcoin was like flatlined, and then like 10 seconds before it went up, so it resolved to the opposite of what everybody thought, and then it went down again. Just a small blip of the actual Bitcoin price. So it's but I talked about this in a video about a guy manipulating the prices. So they basically manipulate Bitcoin price on Binance 10 seconds before the 15-minute market is going to resolve. So that's pretty crazy. I was approached from Mr. Harry Potts. Okay, I need to... Project Raven. Okay, maybe I'm gonna do a recap about Project Raven. I have like 5 minutes left because I actually have I need to do ice bath in 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna do the last comments and then I'm gonna do a quick recap. Thank you, thank you. Yes, that's true. That was market making, probably. At least I think my conclusion, I haven't looked at it more, but my conclusion was that it was not arbitrage. Okay, so before I go, because I have to go like in 5 minutes, I'm gonna do a quick recap. So Raven, Project Raven is this, basically. Let me just make my screen bigger now. How do I do this? Oh my god, no. I meant smaller. Okay. So Project Raven is basically what I've been building on YouTube. So I've kind of been building in public this trading bot, but it's not just a trading bot. It's going to be a trading bot framework, sort of. Basically a node builder for trading strategies. This is a very, very simple example where I connect to Polymarket. We can also connect to Calci and other exchanges. We can set up different signals. In this very basic example, I just set up a price change signal. So whenever the best ask price changes, this trigger fires, and then it fires over to a condition. In this example, the condition is a threshold. So whenever the best ask is more greater or equal than 0.3, it will resolve to true, and then it's going to omit that action to a buy action over here, and you can see it's triggered. Of course, if the condition was not triggered, it would not omit it. A very basic example, but the idea behind it is you now have, or you will have, a graphical interface to construct and design your trading strategies very fast, very easily. Instead of fiddling with Claude code, trying to code a Python bot, I am making a framework for you to use when it's done, where you can do your own strategies, fill in all kinds of different signals and conditions, and you can see how it's gonna give you alerts about what you need to connect and what is wrong. So it's very easy to use, and this is basically what I'm building, and this was the announcement today, Project Raven. There's a link down in the description if you want to get on the waitlist, and that's just a Google form. I will make a website with a landing page that is a little bit more pretty, but in the meantime, if you want to get notified, it is in the description with a Google form. There's also a link to the Discord that we have here, so please join it, because we have a lot of nice people in here, and it's still growing every day. And before I go, I'm going to read the last comments, and I think I'll stop the stream. Bought both sides. We have just a few more months before big institution destroyed the whole prediction market for retail traders. Yeah, maybe. What's your education, work background? My education, well, my education is engineer, and I haven't really been working as an engineer. My work background is actually in e-commerce most of my life. I've been working, like, I had my own e-commerce. I did marketing, I did project management for e-commerce sites, and I've been building e-commerce sites, and that's basically my background. And I have in that time period also been working a little bit with trading, but more like for fun. So I do have some knowledge in that area, but this Raven project is actually an idea I had back in 2018. I want to build this, but like for stock trading, but at that time it was simply not feasible, simply because I did not know how to code. I since then learned how to code, and now we also have AI, which is like makes it so much easier to make. You stress about that every day. I guess that's the institutions. Yeah, man. I think there's always going to be opportunities. There's always going to be opportunities, because we also have institutions in stock trading, but there's also professional day traders. They are not wiped out. They are not an institution. They are, so I don't think we have to worry about that. Cloud computing instance is the best way to go from here. Testing between AWS, Azure, Google, see which. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean, that's 100%. Can you provide a summary? I literally just did a summary of it. I'm not going to do it again, but I think you can go back. I did a summary of this project. Just go back in the video a little bit and I'll do a summary. So in the beginning of the video, a few minutes into the video, or into the stream, I went through Raven, and then I did a recap like 5 minutes ago. All right, guys, it has been a pleasure talking with you. I have to go now because now I'm getting a call and I need to go. So this is not first time I'm going to do a live stream. This was just a test stream, and I enjoyed talking with you. I'm actually happy about been so many comments. I did not really expect that. I thought I was just going to be talking by myself, so that has been very good. So I'll be closing down now. Have a good Sunday and keep building, and I'll make sure to give you an update. And again, join the Discord down below in the link. We have a lot of good chats in there, and see you on the next time.